Geometry 4-6, we're dealing with a topic that a lot of you guys know a lot about, and we're just adding more to it. It's isosceles triangle. So remember, we're talking about scalene, which has no sides that are congruent to each other. A triangle with no sides. We have equilateral, where all the sides are equal to each other, and isosceles, which is in the middle, which means at least two of the sides are equal to each other. So in this case, the isosceles triangle, the two sides that are equal to each other, these are called the legs. So this is one leg, this is another leg, and it's important to know because the top one right here where the two legs connect, that's the vertex angle, but the bottom ones are called base angles. Alright? So what this is saying is that when you have an isosceles triangle, if the legs are congruent, if AB equals BC, that means it's isosceles, so that means the base angles, angle A and angle C, equal to each other. That's what Theorem 4.9 is saying. So if the legs are equal to each other, then it is an isosceles triangle, so therefore the bases are also equal to each other, the base angles. And conversely, Theorem 4.10 is the same way, except if A equals C, so if you find the two base angles are equal to each other, you can assume that it is an isosceles triangle, and so the legs AB and BC are equal. That's Theorem 4.10. And just on a side note, an equilateral triangle is also equiangular. So that means if I have an equilateral triangle, all the sides are congruent, alright? And it just means all the angles are 60 degrees. Okay, 180 divided by 3 is 60, so each of those angles are 60 degrees. So go ahead and write this down. Don't forget to have to write the vocabulary. And this is the last section before your test. Okay. So here's an example question. It's saying if DE equals CD. So let's put that. If DE equals CD, right? And BC equals AC. So this equals this. And angle CDE is 120 degrees. Then what is BAC? So they want to know what this angle is. This is our X. Okay? So let's look at this. We know that angle C equals angle E. Okay? This is because of Theorem 4.9. Right? What 4.9 is saying is because it's an isosceles triangle and the sides are equal to each other, then the base angles are equal to each other. So if I know that this is 120, and let's label this Y and this Y, right? Because they're the same thing. I know that all of these angles together make what? 180, because all triangles equal 180. So I have Y plus 120 has to equal 180, right? So I'm going to subtract 120 from both sides. I'm going to get 2y, y plus y is 2y, equals 180 minus 120 is 60. So I divide both sides by 2, y equals 30. So this equals 30, this equals 30, right? Because all triangles add up to 180 degrees. Now, once we saw that one, we know that this angle, get another color here, and this angle equal each other, right? Because they're called what? They're called vertical angles. Remember that? Okay, vertical angles. So we know this is 30, this is also 30. And same thing with here, because this and this equals each other, then if this is x, this is also x. So let me redraw this. This is angle C, this is B, this is A. We're looking for this angle. We know that this is x, we know this is x, and we know this is 30. So we know there's all triangles, so we know that 30 plus x equals 180, just like this one right here. Okay? So what do we do next? We're going to have 30 plus 2x equals 180. What next? We're going to subtract both sides by 30. We get 2x equals 150. Okay? And then we divide both sides by 2, we get x equals 75. So we know that angle BAC equals 75 degrees. So what I did is I used all the clues they gave me. I took it from where they started me, and I sort of guided my way through where I wanted it to go. I used all the information we know. We know triangles equal 180. We use 4.9 twice. So it's a long process, but finally we got to angle BAC equals 75 degrees. So this is page, you're going to do the example on page 248, number 2. Page 248, number 2, and I will see you in class.